Hey, it's Normal Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0, ArrowFM and MPR. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
We're going to have to cram a whole lot into this show, and that means Raw and SmackDown, they're getting merged together, and we're doing them like 12 minutes. So let's open up with the King of the Ring tournament, as far as that's going through. The first match this week absolutely dashed my hopes and kept yours alive.
Actually gave me hope. Because the second that I saw that Ricochet was facing Drew in the first round, I'm like,
You thought there was no chance?
yeah. And then Ricochet beat Drew McIntyre. So now, I think it's almost guaranteed that Ricochet makes it to at least the finals of the Raw bracket.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense when you're looking at the bracket as a whole, because obviously they're going to want the finals of each brand's bracket part to be heel versus face, which basically lands you with either Cedric versus Joe or Ricochet versus Corbin, and I feel like out of those two, Ricochet and Corbin have been used more prominently, and so it's more likely that they'd be the two that get featured over Cedric and Joe. Although I wouldn't put it past them to do Cedric Joe.
No, wouldn't. I could definitely see Joe becoming the King of the Ring. It's not like it's that far-fetched of an idea. But I really think it's either going to be Baron Corbin or Andrade. And I'm leaning towards Andrade.
Well, we gotta get there first, because we haven't even talked about how Baron Corbin defeated The Miz. But yeah, Baron Corbin also advancing on. The Miz obviously going to be busy with Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura. Way too busy to play King of the Ring.
Yeah, and he's chasing his 9th title run. But this is about exploding the duo of Shinsuke and Sami Zayn.
That's really all it's about. It's just solidifying those two. Sort of, I guess, giving them a reason to be together.
I kind of hope this whole thing takes off, and it kind of gives, like, Sammy this modern-day Bobby Heenan kind of thing, where he actually forms a stable, and it's, like, really important in the overall arch of the stories, all the stories. That would be kind of neat.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with this whole Sami Zayn as a manager thing. Usually you'd see it with someone who's been, injured, can keep wrestling or something like that. It's so out of nowhere with Sami Zayn, who, as far as I'm aware, could still just be a perfectly active wrestler, that I can't even begin to predict where it's going to go. But let's now look at the two SmackDown matches for the King of the Ring that we had. Ali defeating Buddy Murphy in yet another banger of a match.
Yeah, what can you say? It was a great match between the two, as expected, and at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt either one. It wouldn't have hurt either one to lose the match, so it doesn't hurt Buddy at all.
Well, this is the third great match in a row Buddy's had. And by that I mean, like, pure amazing. May I be hyping up my guy a lot? Yes. But since both of them lost in the opening rounds, Drew and Buddy, I have to be sad and find some positives. And then...
Yeah,
you got...
Buddy's just off on the bigger and better things so far with his career outside of this tournament.
And then in the other match, Chad Gable defeating Shelton Benjamin in just under 4 minutes.
While being berated by a lot of short jokes.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with these two. Shelton had this thing where he sort of just stared off into the distance and laughed, and now Chad Gable's just getting short jokes, and I don't know what's up.
Yeah, but Chad Gable's success ends next week.
You're not rating his chances against Andrade?
Oh, he doesn't have a chance. He has a Vince McMahon chance.
And obviously, if Andrade's winning, that means Ali on the other side of the bracket will be defeating Elias.
Because of Kevin Owens, yes.
And then that leaves us with our two finals, being Ricochet versus Baron Corbin, and Andrade versus Ali, meaning the Grand.
Which I would believe then would be Ricochet versus Andrade, with Andrade becoming the King of the Ring.
I do have an Ali Baron Corbin option, but that's a lot less exciting.
I would pay money to see Ali versus Ricochet, but that'll never happen. That's not even in Earth 5500.
Yeah, it's the finals is definitely going to be heel versus face. Maybe the SmackDown or Raw finals can jigger with the alignments, but the finals is going to be heel versus face.
Yeah, and just to face it, a heel is going to win this thing no matter who comes out of it, because they've won this thing 80% of the time, as it is.
It's definitely the most likely option. And then if we look ahead at Clash of Champions, where that King of the Ring finals match is going to take place, we also have Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman defending their Raw Tag Team Championships against the winner of the Tag Team Turmoil match, Ziggler and Rude.
Something for them to do.
It was not my expectation at all.
Nope. Might as well just strap the titles on them and just deal with the consequences of that they have no tag team division.
I'd like to point out there were some amazing tag teams in that Tag Team Turmoil match. So there's a division there.
Yeah.
We're just opting to have our Raw Tag Team Championship match be Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, who are currently feuding, versus Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler that got put together that night.
Yeah, two non-tag teams are suddenly tag teams.
There's plenty of options in that Tag Team Turmoil match that you could have gone with, you know.
But no, you decided to take two options off the table entirely because you couldn't have either one losing to the other. So you just double DQ'd them, and instead of giving the SmackDown lads Heavy Machinery the win, you've got to have the title stay on Raw, so throwing together a tag team automatic wins.
Yay. Yeah, in terms of options, like, honestly, Viking Raiders would have been great. Is it going to be too early? Don't know. OC is still probably technically in that feud. Heavy Machinery, as you say, SmackDown duo. The Revival, perfectly great tag team. Lucha House Party, I wouldn't mind any combination of them challenging. I wouldn't believe them winning, but I wouldn't mind it. And then Ryder and Hawkins in the B team are sort of the lower tier teams that wouldn't really have a chance.
Yeah, and besides, I think we expect the Revival to be facing the New Day for the SmackDown tag team titles champions, so that's kind of left them out of the cold on this one.
But yeah, there is a division there. It's just not being utilized, some would say. And then if we're still looking at Clash of Champions, Kofi Kingston has his WWE Championship match made official against Randy Orton because Randy Orton keeps poking at his family.
Yep. And calling him stupid all the time.
It's like we're in high school.
Or 2009.
But yeah, that's the match we all expected to see. Currently booked as a singles match. I expect there probably to be a stipulation added at some point. Maybe like a Kofi's Kingston's Child on a pole match or something like that.
It'll probably be if Kofi gets disqualified, he loses the title.
That makes a lot more sense.
Because that's what they did with the last time Randy Orton pulled this kind of stunt.
Mm-hmm. So we'll just, history's doomed to repeat itself. Did Randy win or lose that match?
Well, Randy retained his... Randy did not win that match because he was the challenger, because it was against Triple H at WrestleMania.
So things are looking good.
It was in that feud, and they completely botched it with that stipulation.
Well, that looks good then for Kofi Kingston. Randy Orton is 0-1. And then in the 205 live group, we have our Cruiserweight Championship match destined for the pre-show of Clash of Champions. Drew Gulak will be defending against Humberto Carrillo. Have they made Josh care yet?
Yeah.
No, they have not. You say so quickly that I wasn't ready for a next topic. You're making me quickly look around. Drake Maverick's back to being the 24/7 champion.
He's on a race to consummate his marriage.
And I'm sure he won't. But yeah, it went to a news broadcast or a sports broadcast or something in the middle. So yeah, the 24/7 belts, having some fun. That's the way I'm going to put that. Alright, well, let's go to song now, so that we have plenty of time on the other side for NXT UK and AEW. It is going to be Andrade's song because Josh thinks he's going to be king. And you're back with the Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0, ArrowFM and MPR. I'm Grady, he's Josh. Do you want to do NXT UK or AEW first?
Let's get the UK out of the way.
To be fair, it is 5 matches versus 10 matches, so we should probably do that. So the only match without a stipulation or a title on the line, Travis Banks versus Noam Dar. Hopefully, Travis not going to get injured days before the event this time, and he'll be able to appear on this NXT UK takeover.
This should be a good match, and I think we'll give it to our the friend of our show, Travis Banks.
I'd have just hung up on you if you'd picked Noam Dar to win there.
There's no Lakeshore Fox, so I can't go with Dar.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've also got Travis Banks. I think he's got momentum coming into the match, and he's the one who's more seriously taken as a threat for the NXT UK championship. So I'd see him as the better of the two competitors. Then there is a last man standing match between the big boy Dave Mastiff and the other big boy Joe Coffey. Now usually here, I'd put the odds-on favour to Joe Coffey because he'd have the rest of Gallus behind him. But Gallus are kind of busy in the UK Tag Team Championship match, so they're removed from the picture here, and that just leaves Mastiff versus Coffey. And it is a last man standing match, so anything could in theory happen here.
I think you just talked me into picking Joe Coffey.
Okay. Is that because he still has Gallus, even if they're busy a little bit earlier in the night or later in the night?
That's never stopped other stables.
That's true. NXT tends to open their takeovers with the tag team title match, so depending on the placement of Coffey Mastiff, it may have been a little while ago. But yeah, I'm also going to put the odds on favour still with Coffey. You know, you can't overlook the whole Gallus group. But talking about Gallus, they're challenging for the NXT UK Tag Team Championships. The current champions, the grizzled young vets, Zach Gibson and James Drake, will be defending against the team of Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, as well as the team of Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang in a triple threat match.
I'm still trying to... anytime I see Mark Andrews, I still think, what was TNA thinking naming him Andrews? I'll never get past that. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm going to go with Gallus.
Okay. You're going to give him some belts?
Yeah, I'm going to give him the belts.
I could definitely see it. I think Gibson and Drake have held the belts for so long that it's about time for a change. Whether that's Andrews and Webster or whether that's Gallus, I don't quite know. But if I had to pick between those two teams, much like you, I would probably sway towards the Gallus option. It'd be a little strange to see Wolfgang and Mark hold a belt before Joe, but when the NXT UK Championship is held by a man of Walter's stature, yeah, I don't see Joe holding a singles belt anytime soon. But talking about Walter, he will be defending that UK Championship against a big, strong boy, Tyler Bate.
So we have the, the fourth UK champion versus the first?
Yeah. I saw this match.
No, third, because I forget that Pete Dunne held it so long that he was only the second champion.
Yep.
And Walter is the third. So yeah, it's the third versus the first. And I don't see them making the first the fourth. So Walter wins.
That was some serious math there. I'm with you, but I saw this match live at Progress in the Wembley show when I was over in the UK. Really good match between the two, but I think the outcome is going to very much be the exact same as it was in Progress, which was Walter coming out the winner after a really good showing from Tyler Bate. And then the last match on the card, the NXT UK Women's Championship, Toni Storm defending against Kaylee Ray.
Let's go with Toni Storm on this one.
You're giving her one more takeover as champ?
Yeah, I do, because I just don't think Kaylee's the right person, and I think Toni needs to hold it for a little bit longer, especially since her former dance partners are no longer in the UK anymore. They need to build somebody else up, and I don't think it's Kaylee Ray.
Fair enough. I'm going to have Kaylee Ray winning, purely for the fact that I hope Dakota Kai is coming back soon, and I want her to have a shot at the title, and she only has a shot if there's a heel as champ. Therefore, Kaylee Ray must win.
And here I thought you wanted her to go to regular NXT to go face off for the NXT Women's Championship.
She's not getting that one. She has a shot.
After Rhea wins
it. Yeah. NXT UK Women's Championship's quite open. I'd be quite happy with 90% of that roster picking up the belt. So we'll see. Let's jump on over to AEW's All Out, which is also this weekend, and let's just run it down, I guess. We've got a little bit of time, but not a whole lot. We have a 6-man tag team match, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt taking on SCU.
You said Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. That's all I needed there. I'm going with that team.
Well, I'm going to flip it around on you because I'm quite a big fan of SCU, so I'm going to go with Daniels, Kaz, and Sky here to pick up the win again in that 6-man tag team match. There's 2 matches on the pre-show that I missed were marked as pre-show because they weren't put to the bottom of the card. There is a tag team match between Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, taking on Angelico and Jack Evans.
I'll go with Angelico and Jack Evans because I don't know who the others are.
That's a fair pick, I feel like, in this early game.
And I've seen the others on the previous AEW show, so...
Yeah, in this early game of AEW, there's going to be a lot of new talent who people aren't necessarily the most familiar with. So I'm with you on that. And then we also have a 21-woman casino battle royal where the winner will receive a match for the inaugural AEW Women's World Championship scheduled for the October 2nd AEW broadcast. Problem is, I don't know who's in this match.
There's only been a few people actually announced that I know of. I'm going to go with the Chief Brand Officer, Brandy Rhodes.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the rest of the card, and in terms of women's matches, there's only one other, so I'm going to assume anyone who's on the women's roster and available is going to be in this Battle Royal. And if you're going to go with the Chief Brandy Officer, I might go with her backup, her Muscle.
That's exactly why I didn't pick Awesome Kong.
But sometimes you just have favoritism towards people who have been on the show before.
Yeah.
I'll totally never do that.
Watch us both be wrong, and they'll probably put it on, Eva Lise in the match.
And the other women's match on the card is going to be a singles match between, I'm sorry if I pronounce either of these wrong, Riho taking on Hikaru Shida.
I'm going to go with Hikaru Shida. No idea why. Just Just random.
Okay, well, I'm going to be different to you. And I'm going to go with Riho. Just because I believe if she's the one I'm thinking of, let me double check. Yes, she is also a singer. That's my definition of why. And then let's look at... God, what are these match types? There is a Cracker Barrel clash between Darby Allin, Joey Janela, and Jimmy Havoc.
Gotta have those sponsors. I'm gonna go with Joey Janela.
Okay, interesting choice. Oh, I'm gonna go with the guy I saw live in the UK. Again, no favoritism towards these sorts of people. I'm gonna go with Jimmy Havoc. I think it being a triple threat match, meaning that there's no disqualifications, allowing Jimmy to go. I don't want to say wreak havoc, but I'm going to. We'll give him the advantage in that match. We also have a singles match between Cody and Sean Spears, the recently married Sean Spears. Congrats.
I'm gonna go with Sean Spears winning this.
Shock.
Because if AEW wants to prove that they're not going to fall in the same kind of traps the territorial companies did back in the day, they need to start proving that by having the executive producers and vice presidents putting people over. So this is their chance to show that. Besides, Cody seems to be more willing to do that than the others anyway.
Fair enough. As much as I did a shocked expression when you told me Sean Spears is also my pick, I feel like they want to put him somewhere near the top of this card, or this promotion, in terms of like upper mid-card type place. So I see this as a way to quickly project him up there. The pairing with Tully Blanchard as his manager, I think also is just an extra endorsement. And yeah, I think he's destined to be near the top of the card, which means he's got to win a match sooner or later. Then we have what is this? Ladder match of death match for the AAA World Tag Team Championships, an Escalara de la Muerte match between the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks.
Well, I'm gonna go with the Young Bucks.
You're going with the titles passing back.
The Young Bucks are the ones that I would figure that would be the ones that have the biggest egos. So I don't really see them putting people over right now, even though they should. And that would also free up the Lucha Brothers so they could go after the AEW tag team titles.
Fair enough. I'm going to have a little bit of faith in the Bucks, and I'm going to have the Lucha Brothers picking up the win and retaining the title. I don't know what the future of this the AAA Tag Team Championship is, but I don't know, I could see it sticking on the Lucha Brothers, since we've got this whole championship tournament coming up that I'm pretty sure both of these teams are going to be a part of anyway. Then we also have a tag team match between best friends Chucky T and Trent Beretta taking on the Dark Order of Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, where the winner will receive a first round bye in the World Tag Team Championship tournament.
As much as I want to pick Chuck Taylor, because of my fandom of
Better
Chikara,
pick Chucky T.
I'm picking the Dark Order.
What?
I think a first round bye benefits a heel tag team far more than it would Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. So I'm going with Evil Uno and Stu Grayson.
I refuse. Chucky T's going to win. Singles match between Kenny Omega and a last-minute replacement of Pac. Well,
Pac's not the Dragon Gate champion, so he won't have that excuse to back out if he decides to do that. I'm going with Kenny Omega, simply because I'm sick of Pac.
Okay. As much of a Kenny fan as I am, I'm going against you again. That's going to be a theme of this AEW show. And I'm going to go with the Bastard picking up the win. And then finally, the first ever AEW World Champion will be crowned in a match between Adam Page and Chris Jericho.
At the end of the day, I see Adam Page coming out on top here and becoming the first AEW World Champion.
I don't know. I struggle. A part of me wants to pick Chris Jericho because I think Adam Page would be great on the chase. A part of me wants to pick Adam Page because it would be a sort of a big name. Not big name's not the right word. Be a bit more of a surprise to have as your first champion. Adam Page, obviously one of the elite guys. I could see them putting the first belt on him. Chris Jericho, bigger name, can go promoted elsewhere. Also having his whole Rock and Rager at Sea stuff that they're cross-promoting with. I'm going to go with Chris Jericho. I'm going to go against you.
I picked Adam Page because I thought this was the type of match that could make a major star something they're going to need, with television being literally 4 days later. So I think this is a great way to establish Adam Page as the guy. And to do that, you put him over who's arguably one of the greatest in the last generation of wrestlers, and elevate him and the title at the same time.
Fair enough. Well, I'd love to continue to debate this with you, but we are well over time, so it's been great talking to you.
Bye, B.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlingHourRadio, Twitter page, twitter.com/WrestlingHourRadio, and we will see you next week.